Ooh, welcome in, sports fans. A little tailgate action, a little pregame session for y'all to enjoy and talk about these point spreads, talk about these underdogs, talk about what we've hit on, what we missed on, all that good stuff. It's been a pretty little entertaining little turkey game action. Let's talk about the games coming up today. First game on the list, Titans versus Commanders. Titans trying to play upset. They're 3-8 on the season. It's actually better for them if they lose. They need the draft pick. They need a shot at some top talent coming to that team to help support them. Look, this is a dumpster fire organization with a dumpster fire amount of talent on the team. Somehow, some way, still ends up winning games. Commanders 6-point favorites at home. The Commanders get back on track. Look, this is a get-right game for them. Look, the Titans will come to play upset. They are not one of these dumpster fire teams that have completely thrown in the towel. They believe they still have something to play for. I don't know what that is. The only thing they're playing for is to mess up your season. They're a wrecking ball. That's what the Titans are right now. They're a little wrecking ball that you got to make sure it doesn't hit your house. That's all the Commanders got to do for this game. I like the possibility of covering that 6-point spread. Only 6% of the public is betting Tennessee. That's dangerous. We get dangerous levels especially when it's below that 10-20% range. Like we start going, uh-oh. Look, another one that's got potential. Texans, Jaguars. Jaguars, 3.5-point dogs at home. The Jags are another one of these 2-9 teams. Look at this. Terrible. In a terrible spot. But want to come in and compete. They want to play the Texans. This is an AFC South rivalry, if you want to call it, type game. That's what we got going on here. Can they get it done? Yeah, I don't think so. Another one, 6% of the public. Just non-believers. Nowhere. No one believes in this. And it's hard to. The way the Jaguars have been playing is absolutely terrible. Terrible. Just a junk team, junk franchise. What more can you ask out of the Jaguars? Seahawks versus Jets. Jets, 1-point dogs at home. If you don't hammer the Seahawks, this is ridiculous. 26%. Look, we've said it. The Jets are one of these teams that have secretly thrown in the towel. They secretly have thrown in the towel. We know the Jets have thrown in the towel since the Mike Williams trade. It's what I've told you. They're done. They signaled it. They gave you the signals without signaling it. Aaron Rodgers is checked out. Seahawks are playing for something. They're 6-5 in a very, very, very competitive NFC West. Very competitive. They need to win this game. And they're going to win this game. This is a great road game opponent going across the country to play this game. Look, 1 o'clock is a little early for the Seahawks players, right? Let's talk about that for a moment. This is like, 10 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast? This is a little early for them. This is a little crazy. It's amazing to see. It's even more amazing to see things like your little haters that say, hush, I don't even know what that is. Keep going. Hi, haters. Anyway, Seahawks Jets. This is an easy one. I can't believe 20%, 26% of the public actually has any faith left in the Jets. The Jets are currently sitting at 3-8. They don't want to win this game. No way do they want to win it compared to the way the Seahawks need to win it. It's not possible. Colts versus Patriots. This is a tough one. Colts are 2.5-point favorites on the road versus the Patriots. I think the Patriots could actually pull this one off. The Colts are the upset team. They're currently sitting at 5-7. But the Patriots are another one of those dumpster fire teams that haven't quite thrown in the towel. They're not completely, let's blow this up. Let's look. Can we stop yapping? No, show. He's saying he knows this stuff. We're just here for talking football. You're gonna have trolls all over the place. It happens every Sunday. Don't worry, bro. Appreciate the support though. The Colts versus Patriots. Let's see what the betting odds. 22% of the public believes the Patriots. This is a closer match than what the betting odds kind of are suggesting. Even with a 2.5-point spread, only an over-under of 42.5. But the Seahawks Jets have even less, mind you. That's what's crazy. Even worse situation. Even less points in that Seahawks Jets game. Patriots versus Colts gives you a chance with the Patriots. It's not my favorite underdog of the week. I still think the Colts got a little bit better of a team. And Anthony Richardson trying to put it together, especially after that controversial bench me coach kind of moment because he was too tired to play. Needed to take a play off because he couldn't handle handing the ball off on the next play. Kind of difficult to deal with at the pro level. Can we talk about the Vikings? Yeah, let's get into the Vikings. The Vikings are let's go with the Arizona Cardinals versus Vikings game. This one actually will have a lot of upset potential with the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a better team than people think they are. They win here, they are winning the NFC West. They need it. They need this game to get back on top. The Vikings currently sitting at 9-2. The quiet juggernauts. Everyone wants to talk about your boys, Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody wants to talk about my pick for the Super Bowl opponent, the Detroit Lions. My co-host wants to tell you all about these Green Bay Packers. But what no one really wants to have a conversation about is how these Vikings are currently sitting at 9-2. At 9-2. They can easily end up winning the NFC. They could get a first place in the NFC going into the playoffs, and they could win the NFC Championship game. They have shown they can go toe-to-toe with anybody in the league. They win games. What do? They just win games. Currently sitting great at the quarterback position. There's so much to talk about with the Vikings quarterback situation. It's gotten even more hectic this year. They threw more. It was crazy. I thought it was crazy after about week 3 because you found yourself in a position. Do you stick with Sam Darnold? Do you stick with J.J. McCarthy? And now they throw Daniel Jones in the mix. We got Gabber in the mix. I'm not sure if I remember you, Gabber. I'm not sure if I remember you, actually. We get a few people. You're going to have to give me a reminder of some kind of conversation we had. Are we junk? Drunk? No. It's you try live streaming. Good luck. Good luck. Anyways, back to the Vikings Cardinals. Let's get back into the action. Where were we talking about the controversy at quarterback? Daniel Jones, J.J. McCarthy. There's just all kinds of things to consider. And look, I think the Vikings should win. The Vikings should win, but the Cardinals can win. The Cardinals are better than what their record even indicates at 6-5. We watched UFC together. Oh, it's been a while. It's been a minute. Yeah, I haven't done a UFC in at least a few weeks. So yeah, it's been a little bit. I think the Cardinals can play upset, especially when we see only 10% of the public betting Arizona. These are the games that Arizona has been winning all year. When it's a close game and the betting public has it in that 10 to 20% range, they've been Vegas's secret upset all season. This would create a little gap for the Vikings, putting them at 9-3, but they're still a playoff team. Like, they're almost guaranteed a wild card spot. They'd have to go on a disastrous slide to get past it. Now, I'd be careful betting this one. Be careful, because the Vikings, they win games. That's what they've done all year. So if you want to pick the Cardinals, I think I'm going to bet them. But this is like a very risky one. This is a risky underdog here because, look, the Vikings do have that team. They are that guy. Let's get with it. What game did we skip over? Oh, no, that was the next one on the list. Nice. Let's go Steelers Bengals. Bengals, 3-point favorites at home versus the Steelers. Let's say that again. Let's put that to the say it out loud test. The Cincinnati Bengals are 3-point favorites at home versus the Steelers. That don't even sound right. How did Vegas come up with this line? This one feels risky. Only 34% of the public is betting Pittsburgh. Give me Pittsburgh. What is going on here? What does Pittsburgh have to do to get just a tiny ounce of respect put on their name? Just a smidge. Just a smidgen of respect. Just a tad bit. I'm not sure what's going on here. Hold on. There we go. Oops, wrong button. My bad, folks. But what do the Steelers have to do to get a smidge of respect? Currently sitting at 8-3, and they're underdogs on the road against a 4-7 Bengals team that can't win to save their life with a disastrous Joe Burrows. Like, what are we talking about here? I do not understand how we came to the Bengals being the favorite over Cincinnati. Is there anything about this game that I'm missing? And there's got to be. I need to check the injury report. Like, what are we talking about here? This just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. No, there was no one. There's no one on there that is gonna. What are we talking about here? I don't understand how this happens. We're still on that Cincinnati train. When they move to 4-8, are we going to finally either get eliminated from the playoffs? Are we going to finally say that we need to stop picking Cincinnati to win games over a playoff team? Are we going to stop doing that finally? Are we going to finally look at Cincinnati with clear eyes and clear hearts and realize that Joe Burrow, Chase, the combination just isn't going to just magically steamroll every team? Like, you have to put other players on the team besides quarterback and wide receiver. Are we going to finally get there with Cincinnati when they move to 4-8? We've been preaching it for all year, last year too. People forget before Joe Burrow got hurt last year, they were trash. They were trash then, and they're trash now. This is the Cincinnati Bengals. That's what you got to say, Cincinnati. This is the trash city Bengals. The whole thing is trash. Everything about what the Steelers are doing, the whole formula is trash. You can't put an offensive line together. Look, you grab the tackle that Kansas City didn't want to pay and would rather be in a situation where they don't have a left tackle than paying that bum of a left tackle. Is that where we're at, Cincinnati? Is that the offensive line you want to put together to protect Joe Burrow? But you can't put one together because you either can't draft right and put it together, or you spent all your money. You already spent it. It's gone. You can't have all these elites at wide receiver and quarterback paid and then pay other positions. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. What are the Kansas City Chiefs paying at wide receiver? A little bit for DeAndre Hopkins midway through the season. Practically not much. Juju Smith-Schuster, a couple of rookies. Hit on a couple of rookies too, because that's what you got to do. And they're going to be in trouble in 5 years when they got to pay Rice and Worthy. But they won't be paying Travis Kelce by then. You can set it up. Look, we got tackle problems too, but we're still managing to put it together on both sides of the team. The Bengals just can't do that. It's disrespectful to the Steelers to have them as dogs, in my opinion. My little humble opinion. Next on the list, Chargers versus Falcons. Falcons 1-point dogs at home. Chargers could move to 8-4. Serious potential to be big hitters. This kind of locks up a playoff spot for you. You get here and you should be able to make the playoffs if you're the Chargers. Even if you're like splitting going down the road, like you should be at least heavy in the playoff contention if you can win it. The Falcons can afford this loss, but they'd feel a lot better sitting at 7-5. They're currently 6-5. What's the public say? 50-50 split here? 65-35. That's what we're getting for the Chargers Atlanta game. Look, this is closer than I think that this should have been close. I would have expected maybe a slight edge to the Chargers, but give me the Falcons for the upset. I like it. Give it to me. Rams versus Saints. Both teams could use this win. Rams currently sitting at 5-6. Saints are 4-7, 2.5-point dogs at home. Only 18% believe in the Saints. Who dat nation begging for an upset here. They need the upset. If they can manage to go 5-7, they still have playoff hopes. You move to 4-8 and you're done. Not saying this is a must-win game for the Saints, but it is. When you're sitting there 4-7, if you have any hopes at anything, you have to win out. You basically need to win out. Now, is it going to happen for the Saints? No. They were eliminated from the playoffs 3 weeks ago, in my opinion. However, currently sitting at 4-7, I don't think they really have enough to get done with the Rams. Look, the Rams have not been great, but they can move to 6-6. Magically still in the race in the NFC West. This NFC West is a 14 horse pony. Like it's getting tight. Next on the list, Buccaneers versus Panthers. The way the Panthers played last week would suggest they can beat any team. The problem is I have a lot of questions that the Panthers are going to play the Buccaneers the same way they played the Chiefs. Like, only 8% of the public is betting the Carolina Panthers. Look, if they can put up back-to-back week performances, like you showed you can go toe-to-toe with a Super Bowl team in a game that didn't matter for the Chiefs, you're going to see a very vanilla playbook. Look, the Chiefs were very comfortable the whole game. Got a little close there at the end, but it's pretty much a cakewalk for most of the game. But should the Buccaneers lose this game? 6-point dogs at home. Oof. It's hard. Am I really trying to vouch for the Panthers? If they didn't just play a competitive game against the Chiefs, I'd be struggling to find your way. Look, the Panthers, this give-right game, get to 6-6. This gets you in conversation for that NFC South. Like, you want to be right there. Don't let suddenly you win this game and the Falcons lose theirs all of a sudden. We're talking about something here. Having a little conversation at least. What's the good guy wants to know, what's your biggest concern with the Chiefs right now? Look, the way this season's been going is health, right? Can we maintain a healthy team going in to the playoffs? That's the biggest. That's the people want to talk about why Pat Mahomes lost to Tom Brady. It's because he went into the Super Bowl with an unhealthy team. We start the season with 5 guys on the offensive line. The first time you play Tom Brady, you use 3 of them and win. Like, let's talk about that. Like you blow them out with 3. Look, biggest concern is health. It's cakewalk from here. They already got a playoff spot. Playoffs are unlocked. Can we stay healthy? That's my biggest concern. We need, and then, you want to get a little more specific. We got to start talking about left tackle, right tackle. I kind of was worried about this when everyone was so, let's pay Creed Humphrey. And I get it. He's the best center in the league. And we just seen what a not so good center looks like, right? And he's decent. Don't let that bad snap confuse you. He is a decent center, actually. But you can see the difference maker. But when you still have questions at left tackle, it's hard for me to be paying all these interior offensive linemen. Shout out to Theo. Hi, nice to see you this morning, Theo. Good to go. But yeah, that'd be my biggest concern. Next game on the list, we got Eagles-Ravens. Eagles are going to play upset here. This will be to put my respect on my name for Philadelphia. Philly's going to win. Baltimore's got 65% of the public, 35% for the Eagles. 3-point favorites at home in Philly or at Baltimore. This would be a banger of it. Agreed, left tackle is a major issue. They were saying Morris is playing hurt. Yeah, Morris is playing hurt, and the rookie is no good. We got a guy. We signed a guy. Hopefully he's the fix there. You know, it's a revolving door. We've had trouble at the tackle since Fisher left. When Fisher got hurt and he was pretty much his career was done, we've been struggling playing, the best we can at left tackle. When we try, you keep seeing them swinging at it, right? They're going to hit on it eventually. They know the Chiefs organization know it's a major issue. After that Tampa Bay loss in the Super Bowl, they have prioritized the offensive line. They haven't hit on it. There's been a lot of swings and misses. Orlando Brown was good enough to get by, but he wasn't the fix of the problem. Like, it's just, and you're going to get every team's best. And you can't lack there. And some of it is. Some of the offensive line's problem is we've been very mediocre at the wide receiver position. Look at the offensive line struggles have kind of followed the injuries at wide receiver. Like, once you've seen it start going down, it started getting real crazy looking. Like, because the longer it takes them to get open, the more these guys got to block. So the best way, I think, is to take the pressure off the offense is to get guys like Hollywood Brown back. Like, if this offense still had Brown, Rice, DeAndre Hopkins, Juju, and Travis Kelce, like, all of a sudden, and Watson, let's not forget our boy Watson. If he was healthy, he got banged up. Like, it seems like they keep plugging holes at these wide receiver positions. Look, before long, you're going to have to go to the practice squad. You're going to start having to get these bums that you got on the practice squad up. I don't think it's going to be the guys you guys think it is. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be like Ramingo or something. Eagles upset. Eagles gonna upset the Ravens. Ooh, feel the magic in the air. I like the betting on that one. Plus 125. I like that. And look, Vegas has Ravens 3-point favorites, but let's not forget Vegas math. You get 3 points for just being at home. 2.5 is kind of what they have adjusted to. They've gone kind of light on that home field advantage. And I think the Ravens do have a nice home field advantage, especially being this time of the year, a little colder, a little mayhem there. I can see it. The Eagles can run the ball too. It's a very similar matchup. These two teams are very similar in a lot of ways. I still like Lamar Jackson over Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts isn't that big of a drop of a quarterback, if we're going to be completely honest. You're going to have to go down some legit names before you get to Jalen Hurts, but he's still a top 10 quarterback. You got to put some respect on that. Shout out the Eagles. And look, Saquon Barkley. Look, Derrick Henry's been nice for the Ravens, but Barkley's been. What more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? He's got a team he wants to play for. Philly finally gets a little respect on the name. This happens almost every time Philly's good. Nobody wants to give them recognition. Phillies gets a lot of that Kansas City treatment where it's like Kansas City's the worst 10-1 team in all time, 10-11 win team in all time. The 11-1, but it's the worst 11-1 you've ever seen. Like, come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? They're 10-1. They're terrible. Come on. It's the same thing we're doing with the Eagles. The Eagles can mess around and win the NFC. They're playing for that number 1 seed. They're not out of that contention yet. Look, and the Ravens, they don't want to go to 8-5, but they're about to be locking in that second place spot, that playoff spot. They're about to lock in a wild card spot. If the Ravens lose today and the Steelers win today, we're starting running out of clock. Running out of clock big time. 49ers, Bills. I'm dreaming the 49ers pull it off. Look, the Bills likely win. 6-point favorites at home. Only 7% of the public is betting on San Francisco. It's going to be a run game. The 49ers can run the ball. The 49ers are going to win. The 49ers are going to win, and people are going to be like, wow, what happened here? And they forgot. The 49ers know how to do one thing, and that's run the ball. They ain't got to worry about throwing it today. They ain't got to worry about that. Too much snow in Buffalo. Give it to the 49ers. Even though the Bills, look, they're used to it. This is their cold house. Nobody wants to play in that weather, especially as a warm weather team. It's 50 degrees outside today, and I pulled out of the car. That's what that Florida life is like. In San Francisco, I'm sure it's got to be pretty similar warm weather. It's just what it is. Browns versus Broncos. Browns for the upset. We got another dog. Another dog. We're telling you. If you watch our shows on Wednesdays, I gave you 6 dogs then. I think I gave you 4 or 5 this too. Like even now, still left on the week. I did stay away from that Miami bet, thankfully. Because of the weather, I decided better not risk it. You got that Chiefs win. Missed on the Giants versus Dallas and got the Detroit over Chicago game right. So that was nice. That was kind of nice. 2-1 on the little weekend for me. Thankfully, I dodged 2-2 because I would have bet Miami, but dude with the beard talked me out of it because it's just too cold. Too cold for the Dolphins to go up there and win. And it wasn't Tua's fault. It wasn't Tua. It was the 20 missed tackles. That's what's going to put you in the dumpster fire every time. You miss 20 tackles, your team's going to lose. Well, that's your tailgate preview for the weekend. I'm going to have to go and do some stuff. I appreciate y'all for y'all's time. And how about that go with the Chiefs? Who they? Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Look, I got the Steelers winning today. I can't believe they're dogs. It don't make no sense. How are they dogs? How did they get to be the underdogs against Cincinnati? Come on. Get out of here. Get out of here, folks. Catch us Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern Time, p.m.